Video editing saved me. Allowed me to quit my job, allowed me to follow my passions, allowed me to invest in myself, and most importantly, it allowed me to build with purpose. My name is Nishane and my clients pay me so they can take over short-form platforms. We've done over 500 million views and worked with some incredible people. Today I handle a lot more than editing, but none of this would be possible if I didn't start my editing journey a couple years ago. You see, there's two paths you can take when you start this journey. One will lead to burnout, anger, and no money. The other will lead to fulfillment, purpose, and never-ending cash. And the second path is much simpler than you think. There's 3 overlooked ingredients that have had the biggest impact on my journey, so you won't have to focus on a million other things. I'm not going to tell you to learn a certain effect or a certain style because you already know all the basic tips out there. This is the real deal from my experience. Now, this whole video idea sparked when I was mentoring an editor for a little while, and on our first call, he was listing all his issues. He wasn't able to fulfill his deliverables. He wasn't able to improve his craft. He wasn't sleeping well. He felt drained. He was chasing the day. As he kept listing, the cause got clearer and clearer. He was doing too much. Our perception of work and time is rarely in tune with our ability to actually work. So I provided him with my clean slate protocol. The first step is to define your initial conditions. You need to sleep, you need to eat, and maybe you have another job. I told him to create a Google Calendar and slot in all these essential activities. Now we could see his total bandwidth, or his free time. Before I gave him the next step, I had to explain what the purpose of this protocol was. You see, when I started to take things seriously, my life was scattered. I had my hand in too many things, I didn't have enough time in the day, and my mind was just thinking of way too many things. Which is why I needed a clean slate to rebuild a proper routine that would get me to where I wanted to go. The next step was to attach all your work activities and then attach an estimated time to complete each task. So planning time, editing time, research time, literally anything you needed to do to produce one video. He was juggling 5 to 6 clients at the time, and as he was filling up the calendar, his eyes were starting to open and see that what he was trying to do was quite impossible, unless you took some serious hits to your mental and physical health. I had him dial back his client roster so he could introduce a cushion of learning, which is the most important part of any creative's day. This is where you get to increase the value of a unit of work over time, so you can do less and make more. Think of this as being in the lab, working when nobody is looking, searching for answers, acquiring new abilities. The cushion starts after you finish your work and before your head hits a pillow. This is where you learn to improve any aspect of your life. A new editing technique, a new system to be more productive, and maybe even watching this video. If you want an extreme example, this is what I did in 2022 to make my first 100K. I had a strict schedule and it was straight client work and learning, nothing else. I was either at my computer, eating, sleeping, or at the gym. You can decide how far you want to take things. You see, the purpose of a cushion of learning is to make sure you can deliver your promises to your clients over a long period of time without burning out. Delivering videos on time, delivering high quality videos, delivering better videos each time. This is why it's crucial to understand your bandwidth. How much time are you actually able to dedicate to your craft? How many different things are draining your mental and physical energy? How many unnecessary things can you eliminate from your schedule? Once you've figured out your bandwidth and understand how much you can actually handle, it's time to introduce an ingredient that's going to take your career to the stratosphere. Pilots have licenses, doctors have degrees, video editors have a golden client. We need to define this term because I've seen it being thrown around a lot and it's being used completely wrong. You'd think the term means that you have a massive name on your client roster, Mr. Beast, Nike, or something like that. But having a big name in your bio or portfolio does nothing without context. When the real question should be, how big of an impact did you have on that client? The bigger the impact, the more value you hold. The more value you hold, the more opportunities come your way, which is why reserving your bandwidth to make an impact with one client is crucial in the beginning. You're going to be tempted to pick up anyone and everyone because I know adding zeros to monthly revenue can get addicting, but you need to think long term. Do you really want to work 24/7 editing for the rest of your life? Or do you want to work with a small group of high-level clients while still maintaining your cushion of learning? High level doesn't mean massive brands or creators either. It just means that it's a client that's going to pay you what you want and also has a mission you'd like to be a part of. Because a potential client looking from the outside in sees that you're playing a large role in the success of someone else. Think of a golden client as evidence. evidence that you can deliver on your promise at a high level. Now, finding your golden client is the hard part, but not impossible. So let me show you how my team's been able to land multiple. You need to enter a market you love: finance, gaming, beauty, fitness, whatever it is. There's businesses, brands, and creators always looking for video editors all the time. And the easiest way to get somebody's attention is showcasing that you can already do what you say you can do with passion behind your creations. The way I landed my first golden client was by DMing them and showing them what I've already been working on with my personal content and how much I actually loved my work. Sure, I sent hundreds of DMs before someone replied, but that's also part of the process when you're starting, a relentless effort to win. I can promise you any high-level manager or creator will sense the passion behind your proposition, and if you have decent work, they'll give you a shot. One shot. Now you need to listen to me very carefully. You may think that getting this shot was the hard part, but the hard part hasn't even begun. When someone gives you one shot, you need to absolutely exceed their expectations so you get a second shot, and then a third, and then a fourth, and so on. And even if you sign a contract that guarantees you money for a year, you continue to exceed expectations because that's how you win. LeBron James has spent 17 years in the NBA, yet he's still practicing like he's 18, trying to get drafted into the NBA. That's the type of mentality you need to have throughout your journey. Now, LeBron isn't just one-dimensional. He can shoot, he can pass, he has high IQ, he has adjacent skills. You see, video editors and NBA players aren't that different. An all-around athlete is worth more than someone that can only do one thing. The same goes for video editors. At first, I could only edit, but then I dove into strategy, writing, marketing, business ops, and wherever else my curiosity led me. I was learning how to shoot, dribble, dunk, and make plays, which meant my personal stock was rising. As your personal value goes up, so does your perceived value. Next thing you know, I was looking at my bank account with $250,000 in it. My offer wasn't just video editing anymore. It was turning your brand into a content powerhouse. Now, how do you go about this without becoming overwhelmed and burning out? And what skills do you really need to learn? First of all, you need to make sure your first skill is exceptional. In this case, it's actually editing videos. How's your ability to create a cohesive theme? Can you arrange clips together for retention purposes? How smooth are your edits? Are you able to really understand music and sound design to spark emotion? A lot of people skip this step and try to learn so many different things that their main skill was trash to begin with. So forget the noise, forget the new business model everyone's talking about, and forget about anything that doesn't relate to your mission. Once you've got a really good grasp of your main skill, you use your cushion of learning to build up a new skill. I would recommend having a deep understanding of content as your next skill. Why do things get views? How is this person growing so fast? Why did that video perform so well? As time goes on, you'll be stacking so many skills that it will literally be impossible for you to not succeed. Now, I want you to walk away from this video with information that's going to help guide the rest of your journey. So let's summarize. As a video editor, you need to understand your bandwidth. How many clients can you actually service exceptionally? Can you maintain this routine for the next decade? Do you have time for a cushion of learning? As a video editor, you need to be searching for a golden client, someone that you can have massive success with. This client is your public showcase of your skill at work. As a video editor, you need to be learning adjacent skills. Learn all the components of content creation. This increases your perceived value. Now, the fourth ingredient is the most important: making sure you're subscribed.